So this brought together a coalition of parents of different religious faiths and backgrounds who said there used to be a rule in this particular school district that would let them know when there were books that dealt with issues that may be in conflict with their religious faith. Well, so many parents were opting out that the school board and the school district quit doing it. Well, 6-3 today, in a decision by Justice Alito, the board has to notify them about a book that's in question or anything similar so that their kids can be excused if it's in conflict with their faith.
Giving the parents the ability to opt their kids out of reading LGBT books, it's not just a win for sanity, but it's a huge win for Christians. This is why God spared Trump from that bullet. Trump is opening the doors for Christians to be emboldened, to step out, and to speak against evil. Now is the time for Christians to rise up against this nonsense. Trump just keeps on catching W, guys. I don't know what to tell you. From the ceasefire in Iran and Israel to the Supreme Court right now, 4 cases have went in his favor. There's a couple more that are still pending, but Trump is winning, guys. One of the big wins was the judges coming in and pretty much preventing Trump from doing his job, like deporting illegal immigrants out of the country, which is something that every president just tried to do. And now Trump can go and do his job. These activist judges have to stand back and let him just do what he needs to do, especially if it's like in the Constitution. Like, how are you going to be a judge and try to block something that we voted for, which is wild to me. So in today's video, I wanted to react to Trump's reaction to all this that's going on and see what he has to say about it. But before we get into the video, go ahead, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this.
This decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country.
I think that's a common misperception, too, with the American people. I thought that, too, that's just meant for immigrants. But I did a little more research into it. I guess it was just for slaves. So, literally, birthright citizenship was for slaves, which ended like 100 years ago. So, it's just crazy to think that there was something that was meant for one group of people only, and it gets transferred over to illegal immigrants sucking off the government. So it's just like that kind of ends the debate when it's like, oh, should we have birthright citizenship? I don't think we should. I don't think if you're illegal and you come in here and you have a baby, you have like an automatic right to be here. Like it's so stupid. I never understood that law. I know it's like a split with the Republican Party with stuff like that. But I always thought that become legal, then have kids. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I totally agree that we should end birthright citizenship.
On a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. Was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the
That's a huge one, too. Apparently, our tax money has been going for transgender surgeries. They have the right to cut it off. They're trying to say, no, you don't. That's a alienated freaking right that we have here in America. No, it's not. If you want to go ahead and be a Looney Tunes character, go ahead and pay for it for yourself. Why do I have to pay for it? You know what I mean? So, it's just, that's such a stupid argument. And it's not, the decision isn't surprising because if you have a weak argument, it's going to lose, not unless you're a far leftist.
American people. We have so many of them. I have a whole list. I'm not going to bore you, and I'm going to have Pam get up and say a few words, but there's really, she can talk as long as she wants because this is a very important decision. This is a decision that covers a tremendous amount of territory. But I want to just thank, again, the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant It's a giant, and they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today.
This is a big, beautiful win in Trump's words. You know, there's still like 3 judges that are in the Supreme Court that are the completely far left. They actually agree more on stuff than we do, like as Americans. There's some stuff that the Supreme Court are just like on one accord with, which I give them props to that, because at least on most cases they're on the same page. But with some stuff like the transgender surgeries, you know, 3 of them were saying, oh, we should keep transgender surgeries for minors. What? So I hope that passes soon too. I hope that he puts that into a law where you can't transition children. And then the next step should be just taking out transition surgeries altogether. It should be banned. It's a lie. It damages people. It literally wrecks people's lives. And when you're 18, I don't think you should have a decision to go ahead and do that. I think what they're trying to present is you can't get it until you're 21, which is, I mean, it should be until you're like 35 or something. But you know, the 21 is a good age, I guess. Then freaking under the age of freaking 10. This is a big W for sanity. This bill passed with the Supreme Court as well, that religious parents have the right to choose what their kids can and can't read. So before the kids were forced to read the transgender books and stuff and the nasty sexual books that they have in their classes, now you can opt out of it, which totally destroys the trans ideology in itself, because that's the whole point of having them there. But if every parent says no, they're not going to have them at the school no more. So it destroys the trans ideology altogether. So this is just every week, guys. I'm telling you, every week there's just another nail in the coffin for trans ideology. It's not going to exist anymore after a year or two.
Regarding religious liberty and whether parents should be informed and be able to opt their children out from reading books in the classroom that go against their faith. Shannon Bream is at the Supreme Court. We were watching for this one. What's the verdict?
We were, Dana. So this brought together a coalition of parents of different religious faiths and backgrounds who said there used to be a rule in this particular school district that would let them know when there were books that dealt with issues that may be in conflict with their religious faith. Well, so many parents were opting out that the school board and the school district quit doing it. Well, 6-3 today, and
exactly like what I was saying.
Justice Alito, they said these parents have earned at least a preliminary injunction. So while this case plays out, they said the board has to notify them about a book that's in question or anything similar, so that their kids can be excused if it's in conflict with their faith. He says,
look at these freaking books, dude. Love Violent, Intersection Allies. If this isn't propaganda, I don't know what propaganda looks like. This is something that they would have in Russia if Russians were freaking woke. That's wild to me. All these born ready. It's a freaking Fruity Patootie kid on there. Yeah, he was born all right. He was born ready all right from his gay parents.
As we've explained, without that, parents are left this choice: either risk their child's exposure to burdensome instruction or pay substantial sums for alternative educational services. Because at one point, Justice Jackson during the arguments had said, why don't they just go to a different school? Why don't you put them in private school or homeschool them? Justice Alito and others saying that's not practical for a lot of people.
It's not.
The dissent by Justice Sotomayor, joined by Justices Kagan and Jackson, says today's ruling threatens the essence of public education. She says it's not about bringing kids together to learn about a particular faith, but a range of concepts and views that reflect our entire society. Exposure to new ideas has always been a vital part of that project until now. The dissenters didn't think that the parents should get the opt-out. Justice Alito and the majority say they should.
If anything, this is the biggest W for Christianity that we've seen in a long time. You know, Christians have been kind of taking the back seat, but now it's time for Christians to start standing up. These churches need to start standing up against what is evil and start preaching what the gospel says and what Jesus says about this, and stop being scared. This is our time as Christians to rise up. Trump is giving us a time to rise up. This is why I believe that Jesus spared him from that bullet that was about to hit him in the head, Trump, because this is why Trump is opening the door for Christians to come out and to start denouncing all this crazy stuff in our country. So big W for Christians, big W for the Trump administration. This is why I'm a Trump supporter, guys. This is exactly why I'm a Trump supporter. Why would I support a party that hates me? Why would you be a Christian and support a Democratic Party that literally hates you? I never understand that. And I just want to show you guys a quick video of the people who support having these LGBT books in the classroom. So go ahead and watch.
Do you support this book being banned?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so you think 10-year-olds should have access to this?
I do.
Yeah.
Just
Why
like
so?
any other book.
Should this be in a public school?
Yeah, why not? What's the problem with it?
She said, should 10-year-olds have access to this? And he said yes. And she shows the picture of it. You can't even see it's blurred out because it's not advertiser friendly, to say the least. Yeah, so that's crazy to me.
We've made out, we've had sex, we've moved on to sexting at work. I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you until it fit it in my dildo perfectly. You were going to look so hot.
Woo! That's a lot.
Should this be banned?
I don't think so.
Would you be
This dude is like getting turned on by it, and she says, should this be banned in schools? No, it shouldn't be. I'm getting kind of turned on from it. I'm gonna take this home with me.
Would you be okay with your daughter having access to that in a public school?
Yes,
Okay. Why so?
because it's words on paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do these words talk about?
Sex,
Okay. What kind of sex?
oral, anal, vaginal,
Okay. And you would be what age would you be comfortable with her having access to this information?
any age.
What?
You are a ballless father. You are not a man. You are a shriveled up piece of garbage. You shouldn't have kids. You actually should be investigated. I think people like this should be investigated because I guarantee there's some stuff on their hard drives. And you can't see it on the bottom, it's really small, but his shirt says trans rights are human rights. What kind of delusional father would be okay with their daughter at any age reading this? You are a disgrace. This is the voter base, guys. This is the white dudes for Harris right here. Continue to start talking like this, and you're going to continue to lose elections. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now on this channel, Republicans are going to win for the next 10 years. I guarantee it. This party is so delusional.
You're so inauthentic, and that's why I don't like people like you
Okay.
and DeSantis and Trump.
You should be on a watch list.
Yes! 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 You should be investigated. That is crazy that you said that about your daughter. You should be investigated.
Yeah.
You should. You should. Good for her. I'm glad she said that to him. You should be investigated, dude. So I asked Grok, what was the Supreme Court's rulings today? And it says right here, the Birthright Citizenship and Nationwide Injunctions, the Free Speech Coalition. So this is with the corn. I don't want to say it on here, but because of YouTube. But now you have to be age verified to watch this stuff, and it's a big W for kids because this is going to protect kids. This is not going to expose them to that. I know there's VPNs and stuff that you can download and like go on a different country or whatever, or a different area, but a lot of kids don't know how to do that, and it makes it that adults don't want to do it either because then you have to give them like your freaking ID card, and you don't want them to have your ID on there, bro. Like, if something came out and your stuff got leaked, it's destroying the industry in itself. I know that places like Pornhub were totally fighting this. They were trying to, and they're a massive company, guys. They have billions and billions of dollars. I think the corn industry is one of the biggest companies on the planet, and they lost. So, yeah, a win for another win for sanity over here. Kennedy versus Braidwood Management. So this is one we're just looking at right here, to opt out your kids out of the school books that teach this crap. I'm just happy because Trump is just going to win. He's going to win. The people are going to love it. Even people who are skeptical about Trump, I guarantee after the Iran war ended, I guarantee a lot of people who are skeptical are starting to like Trump more because he solves these problems, guys. This is why God spared him from that bullet. So what do you guys think about this? You guys think that Trump is going overboard with this? You think it's unconstitutional to not trans your kids? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and like it. And subscribe to this channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video.